Chapter 1. Love Interrupted Yo. There was a time when I sat there, just wondering, what is love? Like for real. I heard that love is this beautiful thing where a man and a woman fall for each other, flaws and all. They make life feel worthwhile, you know? But recently, things got complicated for me. I fell in love too, and at first, I thought it was just admiration. But nah, those feelings were deeper, way deeper. The problem is, I don't know if that person would accept me. Is it wrong to love you? It was a sunny afternoon, and I was sitting in the park, watching people pass by. Couples holding hands, kids playing, friends laughing. It all seemed so simple for them. But for me, things were different. I pulled out my phone and scrolled through my photos. Pictures of Hannah and me at school, at the mall, at the park, everywhere. We had been best friends since middle school. She was always there for me, and I was always there for her. But lately, my feelings had changed. It wasn't just friendship anymore. It was something more. Something I couldn't ignore. I sighed and put my phone back in my pocket. How was I supposed to tell her? What if she freaked out? What if she didn't feel the same way? What if I lost her? My heart raced at the thought. I couldn't bear to lose Hannah. But I couldn't keep pretending either. I had to tell her. Somehow. The next day at school, I was a nervous wreck. My hands were sweaty, and my stomach was in knots. I tried to act normal, but it was hard. Every time I saw Hannah, my heart skipped a beat. "Morning, M.I.N.J.," she chirped, her smile bright enough to light up the whole hallway. "Hey, Hannah," I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. Inside, my heart was doing somersaults. "Look at this dress China was wearing on Instagram," she gushed, showing me her phone. "It's so pretty. I want it too. I wonder, where she bought it?" I glanced at the dress, then at Hannah. "Mine is always so pretty. I'm sure you'd look lovely in that dress too," I said, meaning every word. She giggled and nudged me playfully. You already sweet. Maybe we can go shopping this weekend?" "Yeah, sure," I replied, my mind racing. This was it. This was my chance. I had to tell her. The bell rang, and we parted ways with a promise to talk at break. We've been friends since middle school, but I never thought I'd see her that way. What would she think? I heard people saying it's weird. It can't be, right? I spent the whole morning in a daze, barely paying attention in class. My mind was filled with thoughts of Hannah and how I was going to tell her. By the time lunch rolled around, I was a bundle of nerves. I made my way to our usual spot in the cafeteria, and there she was, sitting with a group of our friends. She waved me over, and I forced a smile as I joined them. "Hey, M.I.N.J., how's it going?" one of our friends asked. "Good, good," I replied, not really listening. My eyes were on Hannah. She was laughing and chatting with the others, looking so carefree. I wished I could feel the same, but my heart was heavy with the weight of my secret. After lunch, we had a free period, so Hannah and I decided to hang out in the library. It was quiet, and I hoped it would give me the courage to finally tell her how I felt. We found a cozy corner and settled in with our books. I tried to read, but my mind was elsewhere. Hannah must have noticed, because she nudged me and whispered, "Hey, you okay? You seem distracted." "Yeah, I am fine," I lied, forcing a smile. She didn't look convinced, but she let it go. "If you say so. Just let me know if you need to take, okay?" "Okay," I replied, feeling a pang of guilt. She was so sweet and understanding. How was I going to tell her that I was in love with her? Chapter 2. School Drama. School to some is like the worst thing ever. But to me, it's the thing I look forward to the most. Hannah and I walked to our next class together, chatting about random stuff. She was telling me about a new movie she wanted to see, and I was trying to act interested. But my mind kept drifting back to my dilemma. "M.I.N.J., are you even listening?" she asked, snapping me out of my thoughts. "Sorry, what did you say?" I replied, feeling embarrassed. She rolled her eyes playfully. "I said we should go see that movie this weekend. What do you think?" "Yeah, sounds good," I agreed, even though I hadn't heard a word she said. She gave me a concerned look. You've been acting really weird lately. Are you sure you're okay? I'm fine, I insisted, but I could see she wasn't convinced. Okay, if you say so, she said, but I could tell she was still worried. The rest of the day passed in a blur. I was so distracted that I barely remembered anything from my classes. All I could think about was Hannah and how I was going to tell her how I felt. After school, we walked home together as usual. We lived in the same neighborhood, so we always walked home together. It was one of my favorite parts of the day, just the two of us, talking and laughing. But today, I was too nervous to enjoy it. My heart was pounding, and my palms were sweaty. I knew I had to tell her, but I didn't know how. As we approached her house, she turned to me and said, "Do you want to come in for a bit? My mom made cookies." "Yeah, sure," I replied, hoping the cookies would give me the courage I needed. We went inside and made our way to the kitchen. Her mom was there, and she greeted us with a warm smile. "Hi, Manhwa. How was you?" she asked, handing us a plate of cookies. "Good, thank you," I replied, trying to sound normal. Hannah's mom chatted with us for a bit before leaving us alone. Hannah and I sat at the kitchen table, munching on cookies and sipping milk. "So, what's been bothering you?" she asked suddenly, catching me off guard. "What do you mean?" I asked, stalling for time. "You've been acting really strange lately. Is something wrong?" she pressed. I took a deep breath. This was it. This was my chance. I had to tell her. "Hannah, there's something I need to tell you," I began, my heart racing. Chapter 3. Confused Feelings. Hannah looked at me with a mix of curiosity and concern. "What is it, Manhwa? You can tell me anything." I took another deep breath, trying to steady my nerves. "I've been feeling really confused lately. About US. US? What do you mean?" she asked, her brow furrowing in confusion. I looked down at my hands, unable to meet her eyes. "I think I am in love with you," I confessed, my voice barely above a whisper. There was a long, awkward silence. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest, waiting for her reaction. Finally, she spoke. "In love with me? Like, more than friend is?" I nodded, still not looking at her. "Yeah, more than friend is." Hannah was silent for a long time, and I started to panic. What if she hated me? What if she never wanted to speak to me again? But then she reached out and took my hand. "Manhwa, I'm not sure what to say. I never thought about US that way." I finally looked up at her, my eyes filled with tears. "I'm sorry, Hannah. I didn't mean to make things weird." "It's not weird," she said softly. "It's just different. I need some time to think about this." "Of course," I replied, feeling a mix of relief and anxiety. At least she didn't hate me. But I still didn't know how she felt. The next few days were awkward. Hannah and I still hung out, but there was a tension between us that hadn't been there before. I tried to give her space, hoping she would come to terms with my confession. In the meantime, I turned to the internet for answers. I found a forum for people who were in similar situations, and I spent hours reading through the posts. One post stood out. "I really like this girl who is a really good friend. I want to tell her that I like her and would like to go out with her. What do I do?" It felt like I found a lifeline. I spent hours reading the responses, looking for advice that might help me with Hannah. One afternoon, as I was scrolling through the forum, Hannah's voice snapped me back to reality. Hey, what are you intently looking at on your phone?" "And nothing. Just researching something for history class," I stammered, quickly locking my screen. You are studying so hard, even during lunch. You know, you should take a break once in a while," she teased. "Haha. I'll keep that in mind next time," I laughed, but inside, I was freaking out. That was close. Hannah gave me a curious look but didn't press further. "All right, let's get back to our homework." We spent the rest of the afternoon working on our assignments, but I couldn't focus. My mind kept drifting back to the forum and the advice I had read. Chapter 9. Strength in Love. Despite the challenges, our relationship grew stronger. We supported each other through thick and thin, finding solace in our love. We faced the world together, unafraid and unashamed. Years passed, and our love only grew stronger. We graduated from college, started our careers, and moved in together. Life was busy, but we always made time for each other. One evening, as we sat on the couch, watching a movie, Hannah turned to me and said, "M-I-N-J, I love you, more than anything." Her words brought tears to my eyes. I love you too, Hannah. Forever. Chapter 10. The Future Awaits. As we looked back on our journey, we realized how far we had come. Our love had faced countless obstacles, but it had only grown stronger. We decided to take the next step and get married. Our wedding was a beautiful celebration of our love, surrounded by family and friends. As we stood at the altar, exchanging vows, I felt a sense of peace and joy. I knew that no matter what the future held, we would face it together. "Love isn't always easy," Hannah said, smiling at me. "But it's always worth it." And she was right. Love is a beautiful thing, no matter who it's between. Epilogue. Love conquers all. Years later, as we looked back on our journey, we realized how far we had come. Our love had faced countless obstacles, but it had only grown stronger. We built a life together, filled with love, laughter, and adventure. We supported each other through thick and thin, always knowing that we had each other. "Love isn't always easy," Hannah said, smiling at me. "But it's always worth it." And she was right. Love is a beautiful thing, no matter who it's between. As we sat on our porch, watching the sunset, I turned to Hannah and said, "I'm so grateful for you. You're my everything." She smiled, squeezing my hand. "And you are mine. Forever." And as the sun dipped below the horizon, we knew that our love would continue to shine, no matter what the future held. Chapter 4. At Hannah's place. "All right, class. See you all tomorrow," the teacher called out as the final bell rang. "Hey Hannah, can I come over to your place today? I need some help with SEO's homework," I asked, trying to sound casual. "Sure," she smiled, packing up her books. We walked to her house, chatting about random stuff. I felt so nervous, but I had to keep it together. When we finally got there, I was exhausted. "Phew, we are finally here. God, I feel so tired already," I sighed. "We should rest for a bit before we do the homework," Hannah suggested. I didn't know how to act. "Oh, no, it's okay. You can rest. I'll just get started on the homework," I said, fidgeting with my bag. "You should take a break." "Stop being such a nerd," she laughed, gently pushing me towards the couch. We tried doing homework, but Hannah got frustrated and called for a break. My phone kept buzzing with notifications from the forum, but I ignored them. Hannah noticed. "Your phone keeps going off. Are you sure it's not your secret boyfriend texting?" she joked. "It's nothing important, don't worry," I replied quickly. Hannah looked curious but didn't press further. "Hannah, can you help me with something for a minute?" Her mom called from the other room. I'm coming, Mom. I'll be right back," she said, leaving the room. I took a deep breath. This was my chance to check the forum again. But just as I unlocked my phone, Hannah came back. "Sorry for the wait. What is this?" she asked, her eyes wide as she saw the forum on my screen. My heart stopped. "Hannah, I can explain." Chapter 5. The Hidden Secret. Hannah sat down beside me, her face serious. "Why didn't you tell me?" I was scared, I admitted, my voice barely above a whisper. "Scared of what you'd think. Scared of losing you." She took my hand in hers. "M-I-N-J, you should have told me. You're my best friend. I care about you, no matter what." Tears welled up in my eyes. I didn't know how. I didn't want things to be weird. Hannah smiled softly. It's not weird. It's just different. And that's okay. We spent the rest of the evening talking. I told her everything. How I had been feeling, the forum I had found, and the advice I had read. She listened patiently, asking questions and offering support. It's okay to feel this way, she said. Love isn't always easy, but it's worth it. Her words gave me hope. Maybe things could work out between us after all. Chapter 6. The Confession. The next day at school, things felt different, but in a good way. I felt lighter, like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. Hana and I sat together at lunch, talking and laughing like always. I am glad you told me, she said suddenly, looking me in the eye. I want you to be happy, Min-ji. And if being with me makes you happy, then I'm okay with that. I felt my heart swell with hope. Really? Really, she confirmed. We'll figure this out together. But not everyone was as accepting. Whispers and stares followed us through the halls. Some of our classmates avoided us, while others were outright hostile. It was tough, but Hana stood by me, giving me strength. Ignore them, she said one day after a particularly nasty comment. They don't know you like I do. Chapter 7. Acceptance. Despite the challenges, our relationship grew stronger. We supported each other through thick and thin, finding solace in our love. We faced the world together, unafraid and unashamed. You know, I never thought I'd fall for my best friend, Hana said one evening as we watched the sunset. Me neither, I replied, smiling. But I am glad I did. Graduation came and went, and we both headed off to college. We chose different schools but promised to stay in touch and visit as often as we could. Our love was strong enough to withstand the distance. No matter where we go, we always have each other, Hana said, holding my hand as we stood on the train platform. Always, I agreed, leaning in for a kiss. Chapter 8. Facing the World. As we settled into our new lives at college, the distance tested our relationship. We missed each other terribly, but we made it work. We texted every day, called each other at night, and visited whenever we could. One weekend, Hana came to visit me at my dorm. We spent the whole weekend together, exploring the campus and catching up on everything we had missed. That Sunday, as we sat in a cafe, sipping coffee and talking, Hana looked at me and said, I'm so glad we are still together. I tell you I didn't imagine my life without you. Her words filled me with warmth. Me too. You were my everything, Hana.